Building anything in New York is a challenge. Here in dense Midtown, it becomes a high-stakes Jenga game where you have to get architects, developers, brokers, and buyers all on the same page. And in 2026, that calculus looks different than it did in 2016 at the peak of the Billionaires Row boom.
So this land was already assembled by a group that already did the work to put everything together and bought like about 13 parcels together. We later on bought extra air rights in order to complete the site.
That's Rotem Rosen, the developer behind projects like the Hotel Indigo, where Mr. Purple is on the Lower East Side. Rosen's firm, MRR, bought this assemblage more than 6 years ago. Now, he and architect Eran Chen are betting on a zigzagging tower that they hope can command prices worthy of nearby Billionaires Row.
432 Park Avenue is right next door to us, and they're selling for $7,000 per square foot.
But those $7,000 per square foot comps came from a different era. And that's the tension in 2026. How do you sell new luxury when the hype just isn't the same? Especially because now we can see the Billionaires Row has been kind of a mixed bag. So Rosen and Chen have a new challenge, planning something different.
So the previous developer showed us a concept that they put together. This was like a tall, all-glass building that did not make sense for us.
You mentioned the slender towers of the Billionaires Row. Part of that typology is from the restraint of not being able to buy enough land. And so you buy air rights from the entire block and you go with a very slender tower that generates a very particular type of lifestyle. And you end up with a box that has amazing views, but it's kind of very flat, repetitive, and I don't want to say cookie cutter, but it's a lot of the same.
Then there's the real New York antagonist, the rule book.
If you look at the zoning regulations, 2,600 pages of it, the city basically gives you boxes with setbacks as a formulation, and most buildings are just applying beautiful facade to them. And we find ways to work within the fine prints of the zoning to allow more indoor, outdoor, where the facade is very porous, it breezes, and it creates more sculptural outcome, and of course for the benefits of the tenant eventually.
It's not just design, it's designing within the fine print.
Due to the fact that we were able to buy the land in a very competitive price, we were allowing ourselves to spend more on quality, and then it's just creating some profit for the developer, of course, but at the same time, you're creating yourself a product that is much cheaper than the rest of the units that are around in all of those buildings.
The new development market in New York is tight and buyer expectations have shifted. So developers and architects are trying to pull off something close to magic within a very tight system of rules.
We're not losing an inch here. So all of these outdoor spaces are not counting towards floor area.
Yeah, okay.
Magic here is how do you create a building that allows for these outdoor spaces that do not count as floor area. So they're in addition, they're a bonus. You're basically using the air around the building to create value.
Rosen wouldn't tell us how well sales have gone so far, but even in a tight luxury market, luxury developers have to go all out with amenities, like pools, basketball courts, saunas, even members-only clubs. So
you're already next to 425 Park Avenue, that is the headquarters of Citadel.
Yep.
You're next to the new JP Morgan building.
Yep.
So those are the clienteles that we see here.
It's a bit of a club.
They're betting that some of those executives will invest their hard-earned dollars here. And they'll do anything to make their project stand out as the right place to park capital. And then there's a decision that's almost unheard of in this neighborhood.
They asked me in the beginning, they said, how can we make the most dramatic entrance, the most dramatic threshold on 57th Street? And I was like, how dramatic can we be? Are we really going to empty out the most valuable real estate on 57th? Think about it. Every square foot on the Billionaires Row is worth millions of dollars, and we emptied it out to create a gateway. That's a very interesting decision that is both real estate decision and architectural decision. In
a quarter that's historically been built on maximizing every inch, they're betting that giving some of that away will make their project stand out. Whether Rosen's team can stretch Billionaires Row money to the other side of Park Avenue will tell us a lot about where the new development market is heading, and whether money stays uptown at all. Keep following along on The Real Deal for more.